Hello everybody, and welcome to Math 105. I can't wait to meet y'all, at least meet y'all in Zoom on Wednesday, whenever we hold our first Zoom sessions. So I am teaching 3 sections of Math 105, an 8:30, the 9:30, and the 10:30. So hopefully if you're watching this, you are in one of these 3 sections, okay? So what we're going to do today is introduce the course and make sure we help everybody get into things like Blackboard and My Math Lab and Zoom, and just talk about the expectations for the course. If you've never heard of any of those things, that's fine. After today, hopefully you will at least know that they are out there and can start logging in and doing things. Please make sure you watch this and watch it in its entirety, because throughout there will be little pieces of homework sprinkled, at least 2 bigger pieces of homework sprinkled out there for you to go and do before we meet on Wednesday. All right. Now, if you do have any questions from this video, I will be holding Zoom sessions during this afternoon, 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2, if you just want to drop in, or send me an email if that time doesn't work for you, or if you want to meet on Tuesday sometime through Zoom, just email me and let me know, and we will see if we can work something out. Or if you just have a question, you can email it. Or if I talk too fast during the video, this is going to be a YouTube video, so you can pause it, re-watch it 100 times, watch it with your family for entertainment's sake, or if you can't sleep tonight and you're bored, watch it, and I'm sure it will put you to sleep, because this will be our probably the most boring day of the year every year, so the first day of class. So let's get started. The first thing I want to show you is how to get into Blackboard. So there are 3 main softwares that you need to know how to use, okay? And the first one is Blackboard. That's going to encompass everything. So if you go to our website, fmarion.edu, this is what the home page looks like. And as a student, you can hover over Current Students, go down to Student Resources, and click on Blackboard. And that should open your Blackboard up for you. You will have to log in. Now, when you go to log in, you will use your Francis Marion username or email address, and whatever password you have set for your Francis Marion password, your credentials. Okay? If you do not know those, if you do not know your password, call Francis Marion and get sent to the help desk. The technology help desk, oops, let me get a pen to write with here, has a really easy extension to remember. The technology help desk is just the extension 1111. Guess I should put this out front. Extension, some people call it 1111. And if you do not know your login or your password, they can help you get in, and really they can help you with all technology. If we were on campus, you can actually drop by there if we were meeting classes. I'm not sure. I know some of y'all are moving in slowly already. I'm not sure if they will take people and offer you help in person or not. You could always give them a call and ask. But they're a big help. Extension 1111. Okay, so back to this. Another way you should be able to get into it is just clicking on the Patriot Portal. The Patriot Portal was new last year. I think it was last year it was new to us. And it it gets you into almost everything important. So my username is J Phillips. That's the beginning of my email address. Yours may be your first name dot last name. So Jane.Doe or John.Smith will probably be your username, and your password, hopefully you've set that up, or it might be something generic. Read your emails or check your mail. They may have whatever it is set up to start with. So once you sign in, it'll take you to our Patriot Portal. Patriot Portal is where you will have a lot of information for a lot of different things. Swamp Fox Services will have some things for you. And these little buttons or stickers have access to email and calendar and course catalogs and directories. But we're going to use the Blackboard one. The Blackboard is just a software that collects pretty much everything we need. Your grade books, I can send emails through it to you. We can communicate. I post stuff in it, okay? Now, so this is what my instructor one looks like. Yours will look a little bit different, but you will have courses listed that you were signed up in, okay? If you don't see it, you can click on courses and it'll line them up in the middle for you. Okay, so there's my 8:30, 9:30, and 10:30 sections of Math 105 right there. So I'm just going to click on one of them. All right, now listen, don't try to use the passcodes and stuff that I'm going to show you from this section 5. This is my 9:30 class one. If you were in my 8:30 class, when I click on Zoom link or things like that, it will be a different, not that you could remember the Zoom link, they're insanely long, but the MyMathLab code will be different. So this is how our page looks. I can actually go into a student preview view, but it looks about the same. Okay. So Blackboard is where you will have your grade book. It is where grades will be posted, assignments will be posted. You will send me your assignments in here. You can get to links for everything in here, okay? I do want to point out, your grade book is not listed right here, but if you click on Tools, over here somewhere, I think it's under My Grades. That's how you can check on your grades as I grade stuff, okay? Now, the reason we're here for right now is just to go over this syllabus and talk about some things. I may feel like hitting this in a different order. So the syllabus is there. Let me just start out by explaining the course and telling you how classes are going to run. Okay, how I run my classes is I try to lecture in a pretty short amount of time. When we're in person, I will try to keep the 50-minute class to about half lecture, about 25 minutes. I'm not always successful in that, depending on how much material we have to cover and how many questions we have. But I try to lecture for about 25 of those minutes, and then I give you a worksheet that lets you practice the skills that we just did. Now, those worksheets are graded very leniently, and you're allowed to ask for help and use your notes. And if you took good notes, they'll be very similar to the problems from our class lecture. And then you're going to turn those in. I'm going to grade them and give them back to you as fast as possible. So then you get really quick feedback, and you have practiced our skill that we just did right there, right after I taught it. And that helps it stick a little bit in your head a little bit better. It is important to do those just for the practice. And then what's amazing is if you keep all those worksheets, they make really great study guides for the test that we will be taking. Okay, so we come into class, I lecture, you do a worksheet, and then you're done for the day in class. Then you will have a homework that will be posted in another software in MyMathLab. Well, they changed it to MyLab Math, which confuses me, but I will probably just call it MyMathLab. In MyMathLab, that is a digital homework where you type in your answers and it automatically grades you. Okay? And so each section will have a worksheet and a online homework. I will lecture, you will do your worksheet, you will do the online homework. Okay? So try to do the online homeworks before the next class. Now, since we're meeting online for the first 3 weeks, we will do a Zoom lecture. Once I'm done lecturing, I will just let you work on the worksheets and send them back to me. I would like them before the end of the day, that same day. You should do them as quickly as you can, connected as close as you can to the time of the lesson. Okay? So, here's how this is going to look. So the lecture will be on Zoom. The Zoom link, if you click, that's one of my options over here on the left, is right there. So you can click that and it will take you to our Zoom meeting room. Also, if you end up somehow looking at someone else's Blackboard, notice that I have this is for the 9:30 class. Now the university has asked us to keep all of our in-person classes when we're doing this online part, what's called synchronous. That means that we are going to meet at our class time each day. We will meet at 9:30, and the longest I will hold you is until 10:20. that 50-minute class. Hopefully I will not take 50 minutes every time, but the first chapter has a lot of examples to get through. So the first few lessons may last 40 minutes, okay? Then you can always email me or meet later with me during office hours, Zoom meet later, and if you have questions, all right? So there's the link to the Zoom meeting. Now, if you have not ever logged into Zoom, it would be wise for you to click on this and it will take you to the Zoom page where you can download Zoom to make sure that you create an account. Now listen very closely. I would like for you to use your first name and last name so that I can easily start to learn names and take roll. If you go by a nickname, you can put that name and then put your real first name in parentheses with your last name so I can make sure I know who you are. Then I will know what to call you also. Hope everybody understands. I will not record our lessons. Some of the other teachers are recording lessons, but I don't want you to be uncomfortable. I will not record our Zoom lessons. So once it's gone, it's gone. So if you're embarrassed about your name, you don't want to disgrace your family or something like that, it will not be recorded. Don't worry about that, okay? All right. Make sure with Zoom that you do know how to unmute yourself. I have the Zoom room set up so that it should automatically mute you when you sign into the meeting, okay? But if you have a question, you need to know how to unmute yourself and then mute yourself back. The reason for that is if you have a strange roommate singing in the shower and it's real loud, it will kind of disturb the lesson. Or, you know, if there's other background noise. We've held some department Zoom meetings, and there's one lady that always has her TV on and unmutes herself, and her TV just keeps grabbing all the attention, and she has no clue. So I just, please be aware of your surroundings, okay? So the next place to look, there's our Zoom meeting link, is the lessons and assignments page. This will be, if I post any videos, they will be posted in there, and I am running an online section as well that will only use videos. So I think I will post the videos in here if you want to watch a video. Now you still have to attend the Zoom session, but if you need extra help, or if you just want to watch the video, watch the lesson in a different light that's not through Zoom, the videos will be there. You do not have to click on the videos. But each day, notice this is hidden from you until, well, you're watching this on the 17th, so until the 17th. That will be like that. So each day will have its own folder. And inside that folder, you will have the link to, well, the link to your worksheet that matches the lesson, and the link to the My Math Lab homework assignment. So I guess I spoiled it a bit. There are 2 bits of homework that you have for today's lesson in there right here. Okay, I will talk about those a little bit more in a second. Okay, so now other information here is the syllabus. So if you click on the syllabus, click on it again. Here is our syllabus. So I want you to see that each section will have their own syllabus, but they're pretty much identical for the 8:30, 9:30, and 10:30 classes. For now, this is for the first 3 weeks of class. I will have to post, I guess, a new syllabus once we are meeting in person, no longer in Zoom. But for now, I have our meeting place as Zoom. I think our actual meeting room, once we get back on campus, is like 306, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, my name is Lee Phillips. I guess I didn't introduce myself. I'm sorry. It's kind of weird doing this over recording. Contact information. My office is on the 4th floor of Leatherman. Okay, and I'm just down the hallway with all the offices. There's my email address. Notice the ending of our email address is different than the student email addresses. Every student has a g.fmarion. We do not. We just have an fmarion.edu. And it's J. Phillips. There's my office phone. I'm not always in my office, and I don't like answering the phone. But you can call if you want to take a gamble, and I may answer it. But emailing me is the best way to get in touch with me. Okay? The course descriptions here, it just describes that this is a class with some topics. The important part is down here in a little bit bigger font, that the whole goal of taking this College Algebra 1 is to make it to College Algebra 2, Math 111. This is your next math class that you will take if you make a C or better. So listen very closely. you can still pass this class and have to retake it, because you can't take Math 111 unless you pass Math 105. If you don't, well, unless you make a C on 105. So we're all wanting a C or better. Okay? If you make a D, yes, you passed, but no, you do not move on to 111. Okay? Office hours, I'm going to hold office hours in Zoom. I have not made a 100% decision on what times I will be available. I'm trying to look at some student schedules and make sure I'm open for y'all, but I'll email you when I have that nailed down for a solid routine. If you also need help and you can't reach me, the tutoring center is open. I used to coordinate that. This is my first semester not coordinating it in a few years. I will miss it. I loved coordinating it, but they're pretty helpful too. I know some of the really good tutors I can suggest, but there's where you make appointments at the tutoring center. They will be running online for the first, well, not the first week. They don't open until the second week, but for those 2 weeks. And then when we're in person, they will have some online appointments and some in-person appointments. It's a really good resource. Okay. And you can always email me. I try to explain math through emails to some people, and it appears to work because most students like what I write them back. So if you do have a question and we can't meet via Zoom, or you can't meet with me, and you're like, oh, let me just ask my question by email, I attempt to do a good job emailing back very thoroughly. So sometimes I'm slow getting the email back, but it's usually within 24 hours. I will have it back to you. All right. Our course does have a final exam, which every course should at this college. We are going to, so remember the schedule got jacked up and they changed the schedule. So our last day of class is the 25th. And then we're not coming back to the university. So we were given the option of giving exams in person then or online. And giving exams online is not easy or fun. So we're going to take it, and it's a big exam, so I want to make sure I give you, well, usually we give you 2 hours to take an exam. So I'm going to split the exam up over the Monday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So those 2 days we will take our final in our classroom once we're meeting in classrooms, unless we change it, okay? So here's the question a lot of people have. Required course materials. There is technically not a textbook for this class. We want you to have the My Math Lab digital access. The bookstore had all this jacked up because we had a new book representative from Pearson, and he sent us the wrong book codes. I think they have it straightened out now, but you don't even have to go to the bookstore. I can show you here in a few seconds how to get this. If you have a debit card or a credit card or any sort of plastic card with numbers on it, you can buy this without even using the bookstore and get access for this textbook, okay? The textbook is actually, I think, out of print. They're going to have to update it next year. But it's Elaine Martin Gay's Intermediate Algebra, the 5th edition. Okay, so you must have access code. Now let me go ahead and tell you, if you don't have the money for this right now, there is a 2-week grace period where you can log on for free, and I think it's 14 days. They change it sometimes between 10 to 14 days before you have to pay for access. This is a half of what your homework grade will be coming from. So you will need this code, okay? Now, other digital supplies, you need something to obviously do this homework on and watch the lessons for Zoom sessions, okay? Laptop, tablet, really good phone, it doesn't matter. Doing the homeworks on a phone is a pain in the rear, but it can be done. I don't really care. I don't want you to have to go out and buy a laptop or anything like that. Just make sure you have something to access the digital lessons and to do the My Math Lab homework in. Now, in saying that, we are going to be having you, we're experimenting with this. Instead of having you turn papers into me, we're going to have you scan papers in. I will talk more about the scanner apps in a later section down here, okay? Now, the calculator for the course is a really cheap calculator. There's not an excuse not to run to Walmart and get this one. I think it's about $13 at Walmart, or 14 or 12, somewhere along in there, okay? Because of the nature of this course, none of the 105 professors will allow you to use a graphing calculator. And you should not use your phone either because they're worried about testing security, okay? Just to make sure things are secure. Other recommended supplies, we wrote this, several of us wrote this together. They have all these cutesy things like highlighters and color pencils and pens and stuff. As long as you can take notes, I'm happy. Have some paper to take notes and try to be organized. If you are an organized person who loves to highlight and color, sure, knock yourself out. When I was a student, I was not that cutesy. Now I kind of wish I was, so I can go back through and read some of my notes a little more easily. But that's just what some of the professors suggest. Zoom suggestions, you can read some of these. Preparing for class, limit your distractions, turn off your phone and stuff. Ask other people to internet. If you, this takes a lot of bandwidth sometimes. So if you have a little brother that's always playing Fortnite on his Xbox, and you may ask him to, hey, just take a break when I'm in class so that you're not stealing all the internet bandwidth so that I can watch my Zoom lesson. Know how to get into Zoom and the password for our class before the class time. I don't want to be sitting in there and get an email saying, what was the Zoom link again? Remember, the Zoom link is in Blackboard. You should not have a problem. And I emailed it to you. You should not have a problem getting that. Log into class at least 2 minutes early, a minute early, if you can. And make sure your computer or tablet or phone is charged. Or have your charger nearby. Don't be like 3 minutes in and your phone dies. Okay. While in class, I will go ahead and say headphones help with the reverberation, because otherwise you might get an echo. If you have them, it's okay if you don't. As long as you can hear me, just make sure you're muted. Try to take good notes, okay? And we are taking attendance. The university has asked us to make sure we follow our attendance policies through Zoom, okay? I'm going to take attendance using Zoom's ability to download everybody that logged in and stayed the whole time. It shows me when you log in and when you log out. To be counted as present, you have to be logged in at the beginning of class and be there until the end. Does everybody understand that? All right. These are things that count as disruption to class. Be nice. Be good. Okay. Expectations. I may be emailing you a lot of things, so please check your emails at least once a day. There will be some days where I will have to send you lots of emails to communicate like I have this past week. There'll be a day or two where I may not send you anything. But do check just to see, or have it set up where it comes to your cell phone and you get those popped up as alerts, push notifications. Okay? When you email me, please try to include Math 105, and if you know what time you meet, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, put that in there too, at least for the first few weeks, so I know what class you're in. Okay? Let's see. Grades. The grades are made up of 6 test scores. We're going to do 6 homework averages, an average for each test. So the first test has like 6 lessons in it. I don't know what it is with the 6s, but those lesson homeworks averaged together will be your first homework average and the final exam. I do think I want to change this. So the 6 tests are going to count as 70%. And I think we're going to change, well, I don't know, 15 and 15 for the final exam and the average homework. I'm thinking about changing this. I can change this. If I do change it, I will let you know and update the syllabus. For now, that's what we'll go with. It's a 10-point grading scale. You can read it. So if you need a C or higher, you need to be aiming to earn at least a 70 in the class, or a 69.5, because that would round up to 70. Okay. Withdrawal policy, because of the COVID, you are allowed to withdraw up through the last day of class and earn a W. This is very rare for our university. We're usually one of these stricter universities when it comes to withdrawal policies. But what that means is you get a W. It does not affect your GPA, but it does affect your credit hours. So if you have a scholarship like the Life Scholarship, or if you have certain grants or Pell Grants require you to be a full-time student and to get so many hours a year. So do not drop unless you have talked to your advisor and make sure it's okay. All right. This is talking about scanning things. Okay. So in Blackboard, I'm going to go back and show you this in a sec. Maybe I'll show you it let me get through the syllabus first. You're going to be able to download and upload papers in Blackboard. How do we want you to upload them? Well, we would like for you to upload them as a PDF. Okay? As a PDF, there are, I think this is down here somewhere. Where is it at? Maybe it's in one of the other emails I sent. I can't remember. I've sent so many emails here recently. Oh, it's right there, right below it. Okay. That we suggest that you start uploading before like 30 seconds. Before it's 30 seconds from the due date. So once the due date's gone, if you haven't finished the upload, you're toast. So try to work ahead of the deadlines. Okay, don't fall behind. If you're absent, you're still expected to attempt to do the work because you can still get the lesson. You can still, because I'm going to post videos from my online class. They're not doing Zoom. Post those videos and post the worksheets and all that. Okay, so you should still do all your work. Now, if you do go into the hospital for any reason at all, whether you're having a baby or you have caught COVID or you have broken a leg or you know, any of those reasons, please contact me as soon as you can. We can work with you to the best of our ability, okay? I know if you're in the hospital and you can't even move or you're not even conscious, I know you're not going to be able to send me an email. But if you are able to, or tell your mom or your best friend to email me if something happens, let me know. All right, to submit assignments. All the worksheets we do, I call them handwritten assignments because you do not have to print the worksheets. If you want to, you can print them, but you can just label them very carefully, okay? Will be uploaded through Blackboard. Some of the other professors are doing no papers turned in. I'll think about this once we get back in person, but for now we're scanning everything, okay? How to scan stuff in. Use a scanner. So a lot of the printers have scanners on them. They are a pain to use, but if you have one, you can use that. But nowadays, with everybody having a smartphone, scanner apps are extremely easy to use, okay? For instance, if you have an iPhone, just in their picture taking thing, you have the ability to take scans as PDFs. It's a piece of cake. If you do not have an iPhone, if you're an Android person, there are many really great apps out there. My favorite free app, do not spend money on this unless you just like to waste money and you're a high roller. There is a free version of an app called Tiny Scanner. Tiny Scanner scans things as PDFs, and it's really easy to send them, and it's right there, and it works wonderfully. Okay, and you can, you know, so we're not accepting JPEGs or PNGs or other picture files because those take up way too much memory. So our university has a limited amount of memory on Blackboard, and if everybody sends me a JPEG, most of the university's memory will be eaten up. PDFs do not eat up that much memory. Okay. The other thing, if you can't download that app, or you can't find a good app, or you do not have any way of scanning, but you do have a smartphone, you have free access to Microsoft OneDrive, which also sends or scans and merges documents as PDFs. If you need help on this, we can Zoom. I can have you show me things, or you can ask your friend, or you can call, once again, the help desk at 1111. Okay. Now, when you give me a document, your name, at least your name, and the assignment name needs to be written on the top of each page, please, so that in case I print them out to grade them, I don't know how I feel like grading these, we'll know where everything goes. Also, number all questions, please. Each submission must include a single file. So say you have a 5-page homework. I hope you will never have a 5-page homework in my class, but pretend you did. I do not want 5 one-page documents. I want one document that is 5 pages long. Those apps I just mentioned, you just keep adding. You can add as many pages on as you want and have a single document. That's what we want. Practice with it. You don't even have to send it to anybody, but download the Tiny Scanner app or one of those apps and practice scanning things in. Okay? And one of the other instructors wanted you to name the file specific names. I'm not that picky, but if you want to go with this naming convention. I think it is nice to have a standard way to name them so that you can find the documents later if you want to, and that I know which documents go where. Okay. Testing procedures. I'm going to skip this for now and talk about it when we get closer to a test, because we have a few weeks till we test, and I may change my mind on how we're doing the test. I will say they're trying to break it into two parts, a digital part and a paper part. For the paper part, we will do it during class time through Zoom so that I can make sure you're not cheating and all that. You will just set up your phone or your laptop or your tablet so that it is facing your hands in your paper, so I can see that you're not just, I don't even like thinking about cheating. Okay. And there's a lot of rules, testing policy rules. You can read all those. We'll post the grades in Blackboard. And if you want your test back, which we're scanning the first one, so that'll be kind of awkward, but if you do want it back, just email me and we'll see how we can send it back to you. Attendance policy. University policy is you're allowed to miss 2 weeks worth of classes. Now we meet 3 times a week, so that is 6 classes. If you miss more than 6 classes, you will be dropped from the university. Not from the university. You will be dropped from my class. Once again, if you go to the hospital or something like that, let me know. We'll work with it. But if you miss too many classes, you will be dropped. And you will be dropped based on the score you have at the time. So if you have an F, when we drop you, you get an F. If you have a C, you get a W. You get no credit for the course. Okay. Academic dishonesty, don't cheat. It's not worth it. Disability support services, if you do have disabilities and need accommodations, please contact Dr. Lawson. She's amazing. And disclaimers and rights, I have the right to change this and add addendums and anything that we need. And I will let you know if I change it. Okay. Awesome. So let me show you my math lab. So that was a lot of talk. Let me go a little quicker now. So you're going to have your first homework for the day is a My Math Lab one. This links directly to that first assignment. You may have to log into My Math Lab, but let's talk about My Math Lab. If you click on the My Math Lab info page, there is a link to My Math Lab and a course code. So before you click on the link, you're going to want to copy your course code. Just double click on it and Control-C will copy it. This gets you into the correct course. Now, if you're watching this and you're 8:30 or 10:30, do not pay attention to this course. Get your correct course. This is only for the 9:30 people. Yours is listed in your Blackboard. It will be my last name with 5 numbers. Okay, so that's your course code. Then you can go to My Math Lab. Click on the link and it will take you to My Math Lab, which Pearson owns. Pearson's the textbook company. This is how it looks. Okay. If you already used My Math Lab this past semester, you can just jump right into signing in and adding my class. If you are new, you will need to register as a student. You are the student. So when you click that, you will need to put in your university email address. You will need that ID, that course code that's back here. And you will need to either have paid for it already or a credit card or debit card or whatever, okay? So you say, okay, register now. We're not Australian. And it asks you for all the stuff. So this is where you enter your course code. So I can go and copy this and plop it in there and hit continue. And oh yeah, I linked it. I forgot about that. So you will need to do this through Blackboard. So here's what we're going to do. I have a help video on that. I remember now I have this help video. You need to register through here. So I will post the help video underneath this first, well, maybe I should post it in both places. Lessons and assignments, and underneath My Math Lab info. I will post this help video made by one of our other instructors to show you how to get into your course from here, okay? Now, I think I also have it set up to where the course will not allow anybody in until today. So if you were trying to get in over the weekend, it opens up today, okay? So Now, let me show you, so lessons and assignments. So let's talk about your homework, and then I think I'm pretty much done. So my Math Lab orientation is your first My Math Lab homework. My Math Lab homeworks, let's see, I may not be logged in. Okay, I'm logged in. My Math Lab homeworks, you always have the chance to make a 100 on them as long as you do them on time. Because if you miss a question, you literally, you see where it says continue down here? Say I missed this question. Well, this one's not a question. You can click try similar problem, and it will let you try it again to get it right. So you should have 100 for your My Math Lab score. There is no need not to have a 100. Okay? So your first My Math Lab homework is this orientation. Make sure you get through and do it. Okay, and you click on these to go through your questions. All right, you will have one with each lesson, and each day there will be a My Math Lab homework. Okay, you will also have a worksheet. This is our worksheet for the first day. So this is how this will look. You can click on the assignment, and this is where you will download the assignment. It's right here. You click it, and this is where you will attach the file back. This is very important. Listen very carefully. Once you attach it, it'll have these options for save and all that. Don't even bother hitting save yet. Just go ahead and hit submit. If you hit save, this screen goes away and it's not submitted. I cannot see it. So then you have to go back in and find the submit button. It's easier once you attach it to just go ahead and hit submit. And then I get it. Okay, the first one is due by midnight tomorrow. So this is the first one. Okay, it should be a 2-page scan. I will let you read that, but it's about practicing scanning, and it has some questions for you to answer and a second page part. Okay, so make sure that you do go in and look at that, answer it, and scan it back in and submit it. Okay. All right, let's see about Math Lab. So that's going to be a lesson each day. You will have our Zoom lesson. Possibly I will post extra help videos if you need them on My Math Lab, and a worksheet for each day. So there will be a day 2 and a day 3 and a day 4 and a day 5. My Math Lab stuff's here. Syllabus is here if you need to read anything. Zoom link is here. Okay. Now let me think if there's any other questions, things I need to cover. All right, that is all I got for now. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me or to drop in when I'm doing Zoom hours or Zoom times later today or on Tuesday. Maybe I will re-email those or post those somewhere so you know when to get into Zoom. I can't wait to meet you on Wednesday. On Wednesday at your class time, we will hold our Zoom session. So I will see you then. All right.